What if some InfoSec incidents were destined to start at a meeting? Without knowing it, you've likely sat in exactly the type of meetings that can lead to breaches. Questions are asked about who owns what assets and shoulders shrug. Or eyes dart with false hope around the room because no one knows for sure. It sounds simple. Every company has org charts, job descriptions, clear lines of accountability. But when it comes to information security, business processes, and IT, the ownership of assets and associated accountability is often a real mess. And that's exactly what makes organizations vulnerable to breaches. Ask a CEO who owns information security, and they'll say the CISO. Ask the CISO, and they'll tell you information security is everyone's responsibility. Legal assumes IT is handling compliance. Compliance assumes IT is enforcing policies. Ask the head of IT, and they'll tell you that information security should stay in its lane. And the business units? They're not even sure why this is a discussion. Security is supposed to just work. The problem isn't just security controls, it's knowing who's actually responsible for protecting the company's most critical assets. Sensitive data, cloud services, legacy infrastructure, vendor relationships. When no one has clear ownership, security gaps appear, and malicious actors love these ownership and accountability gaps. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Cybersecurity leaders contribute to this confusion. Too often, they focus on securing everything everywhere instead of prioritizing what's most critical. They send out broad mandates, but don't work with business leaders to define who is responsible for securing what. They assume IT teams will enforce policies, but IT is already overwhelmed keeping systems running. And when cybersecurity risks are identified, they report them, perhaps even into a risk register, but don't always ensure they're assigned to the right person for resolution. On the other side, senior executives and board members don't always ask the right questions. It's easy to assume the company has an inventory of critical assets and that someone is accountable for protecting them. But in many organizations, security operates like a rented apartment with a group of roommates. Everyone assumes someone else is locking the doors, but no one is actually checking. The result? Companies spend millions on information security tools, but don't know what they're protecting. Data is stored in cloud environments no one monitors. Vendor systems are connected to internal networks with no clear oversight. Legacy applications continue running because no one wants to be the one to turn them off. Disaster recovery is often planned as if every business process has the same criticality. And when a breach happens, the post-incident response isn't always action. It's sometimes confusion in some organizations. Whose job was it to prevent this? Who approved access? Who was monitoring the risk? It's too easy to mischaracterize all this as an IT issue. In reality, it's a weakness or gap in corporate governance. That's where business leaders can contribute. Strong cybersecurity isn't just about technology, it's about accountability. Every critical asset in the business, whether it's financial data, customer information, or supply chain systems, needs a clear owner. Someone who understands the risk, makes decisions, and ensures secure processes and the right technical controls are in place. So, what should the executive team or board be asking? Where is our most critical data? Who owns it? Who is responsible for securing that data? Is there data marked critical that isn't material? And if so, why? If something goes wrong, do we know exactly who is accountable? These questions aren't technical, they're about good leadership, because the most pervasive cyber risk isn't a malicious actor, it's assuming that someone else has already taken care of the problem. All of us know that the same old tired information security framework assessments will be of little help for your organization in terms of managing the practical realities of complex business issues like unclear accountability. If you can't do it yourself, you need someone with real experience. Governisto has leveraged deep executive information security experience into consulting and services packages that can jumpstart specific resilience capabilities and help the org restore confidence in information security's strategic ability to more quickly articulate and support business objectives. Governisto can be found on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram.